Because I like the thrill of being considered a rebel, I'm going to tell you 5 rules that I break in online business. These are rules that are set in stone, and they are so set in stone that people will tell you, the gurus, the experts will tell you that if you don't do these things, your business will not grow, you will not make 6 figures, you will not make 7, no one will care, no one will like you, and you'll die a lonely, slow, painful death. Well, I can tell you, at least for me, this has not been true. I have gladly broken all 5 of these rules, and I have a 6-figure business that only continues to grow. Knock on wood, it will continue. My name's Lane. I love to help people like you who are on the interwebs looking for ways to grow your online business or start your online business. And for that, I have a helpful guide for you. Go to lanesebring.com/super simple. There's a link in the description below as well. This is my super simple guide to your first $500 online. This is the exact steps that I use to grow a 6-figure online business and help so many people do the same. So click below, get that guide, and you will be glad that you did. So let's get started. The 5 rules that I break in online business. Number 1, I have a really small YouTube channel. In fact, 2 small YouTube channels. This one under 8,000 subscribers, and Preaching Donkey, my other online business, at right about 10,000 subscribers. And yet, this has translated into a 6-figure business and a lifestyle that I love and work that I love. And yet, I don't have 500,000 subscribers. I don't have 100,000. I don't even have 20,000. I have 8,000 on one brand and 10,000 on the other. So the rule that says that you need to be this massive superstar and have 1 million subs, well, sure, that would be nice. And it kind of makes me sad that I don't have those things, but it hasn't made a difference in the amount of money I make. So I'm not that sad about it because I'm still kicking butt and taking names, as they say. But my point here is that if you have a small channel, if you have a small online presence, don't let that be a thing that to hold you back, because it's never made a difference for me. As my channel has grown, it has increased over time and my income has increased. And the key has been targeting. So my channels are incredibly targeted. What do I mean? Over at Preaching Donkey, my channel is all about how to help preachers communicate better. If you're not a pastor who preaches, you don't care about the channel. If you're not a pastor who preaches and who wants to communicate better, guess what? You don't care about the channel. So the people that do subscribe and the people who do watch the videos and the people who do subscribe to my email list, they care and they are targeted. And because they're targeted, they're more likely to buy my products. They're more likely to work with me. And so it results in more money with fewer people. So make sure that your content is targeted and it doesn't have to be that large. So I break this rule. I hope to not break this rule much longer. I would love to have 100,000 subscribers at some point. Maybe you can help me by subscribing. The next rule that I break is I barely use social media. Now, when I say social media, I mean, think Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't do the things that the Gary V's of the world say you have to do to be a presence on these platforms. Now, this is something that I want to change, but in my online business journey, I haven't had the time or the money or the bandwidth to really create a cohesive social media strategy. I focused more on video content on platforms like YouTube, and then sharing a little bit to social media, but really just to get people back to YouTube. Now, I know that it would be massively beneficial if I spent more time in social media and on social media, and I plan to someday. But so far, that's a rule that I have just broken. If you go to my Instagram, this brand's Instagram, Lane Sebring, you're not going to see nearly as much content there as you do here on YouTube. So you might say, man, doesn't that result in you not making that much money? Well, it hasn't. That's my point. It's a 6-figure business. It's very close to being multiple 6 figures very soon. Very soon it will be. But it has not made that big of a difference. Now, you could say, if I were doing social media, maybe I'd be a 7-figure business. To be honest, I don't think it would make that big of a difference because most of my leads come from YouTube, and I have never seen that really change, even when I have a social media post take off. So the rule that says you got to be all over social media or your online business won't work, I just have not found that to be true. So the takeaway for you is this: Find the platforms and the mediums that really fire you up and that you actually want to be on and be active in, and go all in with those, and just don't worry about the rest of it. Number 3, and this is related, I am not everywhere. So years ago, when I first got into this, I saw Gary Vee talking about this and Pat Flynn, and they said basically the way that you are successful with an online business is you have to be everywhere. Every time somebody picks up their phone, you're on, oh my gosh, there he is. He's on TikTok. Oh, he's on Instagram. Oh, there's a tweet from him. Oh my gosh, look, he's on Facebook. Oh my gosh, on YouTube. And this expectation that if you're going to be successful, your whole life, everything you do has to be online all the time, posting this, that, and the other thing. It's just never been something that I've done. I've done it here and there in like fits and then in spurts and fits or however I haven't been consistent with it. The one thing I've been consistent with is creating content on YouTube. And in the case of my Preaching Donkey brand, it's YouTube plus the podcast. That's basically it. And then I share those things to social media. I am not everywhere. This brand is not everywhere, but it's in the right places that I know are going to work. And should these ever stop working, then I'll go to the place where they start working again, right? I'm not everywhere. I don't think you have to be everywhere either. The problem with trying to be everywhere is you spread yourself very thin. So back to what we talked about at the very beginning, being targeted. If you're everywhere, it makes it very difficult for you to be good everywhere. Be great in a few places, and then just try to get people to come to those few places. That's been my strategy. Now, I will say, as my business grows, and as I have more help, I will probably seek to use social media more and be in more places. But I have no desire to be everywhere for the sake of being everywhere, because I've never seen that result in more money. Number 4, I don't run ads. With very few exceptions, I have almost never ran ads. My marketing is my content, and my content is my marketing. So the strategy that I follow is that I have content that is free. It's on YouTube, it's on my podcast, it's shared to a few short form platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, things like that. But the point is, I have content. That content is lead generating, meaning that in my content, I talk about helpful, valuable things that people want to know if they're in my target. So if you're trying to grow an online business and you're interested in online business, then this channel is going to be something that you look at and say, I'm interested in this channel's content. And then in that content, I have ways for people to take the next step with me. For example, at the beginning of this video, the very first thing I said was grab the super simple guide to your first $500 online. That is a lead magnet. If you download that guide, you have to give me your email address to do it. When you give me your email address, that puts you in my sales funnel so that I can badger you about buying my stuff. Now, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to badger you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you more value. I'm going to help you in any way I can. And I'm going to show you that there are things that you can purchase from me, courses, programs, coaching, consulting, to help you go further in growing your online business or starting it. So the content itself does the marketing for me. I don't have to pay for traffic. With that said, just like all of these, I am up for experimenting with everything. My business is still very, very young. There may come a day when I want to grow faster, I want to grow in a different way, and I might use ads. But to this point, 6 figures, soon to be multiple, and it has never been a thing. The vast majority of my traffic into my sales funnel comes from organic content through people watching my videos, listening to my podcast, or finding my website. So what that should tell you is this. If you are new in online business, you don't have to have this massive marketing budget. You don't have to have this big ads budget. What you need is content that is focused on generating leads through a lead magnet and then a good sales funnel. And you're going to be well on your way to outpacing what you would if you had ads, especially because you don't have to spend any money. It just takes your time. And for people who are just starting out, your time isn't worth as much as later on down the road when your time's worth way more and it makes sense to pay for the traffic. Number 5, the rule that I break more than almost anything in online business and in today's hustle culture is this. Come here, come close. I don't work all the time. I don't. I love to take time off. In fact, here in just a few minutes, when I finish recording this video, it is 2:20 in the afternoon while I record this. My kids happen to be home from school today. So guess what? I'm gonna hit the button to stop recording and I'm gonna walk out this room and play with my kids. And there is no reason for me to work till 5 tonight, or even 6, or even 4. I'm getting out of here. Why? Because I have an online business that works when I don't. It's a disproportionate system, meaning that I put in a fixed amount of work and I get a disproportionate return on that work. My things that I do, the things that I build, the work that I do is fixed in time, but the results keep coming over and over and over so that the business just keeps making money whether I'm working or not. What that means is that I can reduce the amount of time that I spend working each week and do more of the things that I love. This is the beauty of passive income, and it is not a myth. I live it. This is the life I live. So the people who say, you gotta work till your eyes bleed, you gotta work so much that you just can't even sleep. I mean, these are the people who win. Okay, listen. Life's too short for that kind of craziness. Do the things that matter, do them really well, and then walk away from your work and live your life and come back to it and you're ready to go. You're refreshed. So yes, what I believe in and what I do is execute. I get an idea and I make it happen. And then I walk away from it and I live my life. And that is the balance that I have found. And I do not need and have never needed to work until my eyes bleed. That would be painful, and I don't want that for me, and I don't want it for you. So those are the 5 rules that I break, which makes me feel like a rebel. It'll make me seem like less of a minivan driving suburban dad. So that being said, if you are interested in learning more, go to lanesebring.com/super simple, click below. Also check out this playlist where we will go even more in depth into starting and growing your online business. So click right there and I'll see you in that playlist.